Connor, it is so good to meet you, my friend. Obviously seen the film, more of which in a moment. I've been lucky enough to interview many big names over the years. And the free song backstage at Good Morning Britain, when I told everybody that I was coming to meet you, I could have sold tickets. Wow. We're not even in the ring.
Wow, brilliant. Good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Are you aware of that?
I don't know. I am now.
Yeah, you are.
That's good. I'm excited. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. And it's an honor.
No, it's an absolute honor to meet you. And I've seen the film and I was a fan of the original. For those people who haven't seen the Patrick Swayze version from way back when, tell us a little bit about the Roadhouse.
Yeah. Well, the Roadhouse, it's a bar. It's like a pub. We would call it a pub here in the UK or Ireland. I owned one also. I own a Roadhouse. It's why the role fit me very well. But it's about a former fighter who has had a troubled past. He's done some bad things, but he's a good man at heart. He enters into a roadhouse that has a bad clientele, a lot of danger, a lot of fighting, and he's essentially hired in to clean it up. And then there's a little bit there's things more sinister at hand. There's more powerful people at play and trying to get control of the roadhouse. And the story unfolds on the back of that. And myself, I'm a new character in. I also was a huge fan of the original Roadhouse, which is what really made me take the role in the first place, to make sure that it was done justice, that the original was done justice. And for me, I was a new character who wrote into the story. I'm the bad guy, there's bad guys and then I'm the extra bad guy. So, I went in, I done my best. It was my first time out, my first time doing the movie game. And, I was nervous. I'm still a bit nervous, to be honest, because, my mother has yet to see the film. She's going to see the film this evening. And, there's a couple of raunchy scenes in it as well. So, and I didn't let her know any of that. So, it was an amazing experience. A lot of hard work, a lot of humbling hard work. And, I approach it like I would approach my martial arts training. I'm a novice at this. I've never done a movie before. So I am akin to a white belt, a beginner. So I just went in, I took direction well, and I gave it my all. And I feel we done a good show. I feel Swayze and the Swayze family, would be happy with what we have done here. And I know the fighting world that will be watching this in the UFC world will be happy what we have done here. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, because it's certainly a cracking yarn, and it does very much honour the story of the original. Jake Gyllenhaal, obviously, I've been lucky enough to meet many times. He's the bloke on the door.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the good.
And you're the villain. Now, you talk about your mum and a few raunchy scenes. Well, you do make quite an entrance for your film debut, don't you? I think it's fair to say your mother would have seen you like that a few times, and possibly,
Dee. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Mate, you're butt naked for a minute.
I know,
right?
That's because when I had seen it then in front of the audience, I was like, they could have cut it short a few seconds. It went on and on and on. I was like, what the hell? But, I was actually doing something with James Corden last night, and he had said the same thing to me. He's like, because when I was saying about my mother's going to see it today, I'm a little bit nervous of it. He said it's nothing she hasn't seen before. And that actually settled me. I was like, it's true.
That was first day on set, was it?
That was not my first day on set. That was the first scene. It was my first day on set. No,
right.
But yeah,
and that's the $1 billion walk.
That's the really that's now. I was acting. That's Knox. I'm Knox. I played a character.
Right.
So I immersed myself in the role. Knox. I'm not sure his net worth, but
get a tenner for my swagger to be cool.
What I was told, what I used to to agree to it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger came into the movie business. In Terminator, he was down, crouched over, and solid and strong, and but naked also. So I just thought to myself, if Arnold done it, and his career was so stellar in the industry, maybe why not? And I'm a free spirit. I'm confident. I'm in shape. I said, okay, no problem. Yeah. There's also an ode to an old Swayze film. Also, Swayze done it. Also, Patrick Swayze done it. Also, a scene similar. It wasn't in the Roadhouse, so I forget what movie it was, but it was a back shot and close up and extended.
There you go.
So it was a little bit of both. It was an ode to Patrick Swayze, and maybe they're teeing me up to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger type in this industry. I mean, I do this for real. I came from the fighting world. I am in the fighting world. I am immersed in it. So there's not an action star in Hollywood that could take me on, and that's a fact. So, you know, let's see how it goes.
Fighting talk, and it's also what you keenly point to is the graft, and you'll know stranger, obviously, with all your titles in your world to that discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it like when you're on a set and you're learning this new craft, if you like, and it is a completely different discipline, isn't it? For example, the scenes, obviously, clearly because they're pretty brutal, they've got to be very tightly choreographed.
Yeah, for sure.
So was that like, I don't know, breaking an old mold and starting all over again for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work. I had two lovely ladies, amazing ladies that were coaching me, my acting coaches, and I had only met them a couple of months prior to the project, and you know, they were intense with me. You know, they wouldn't let me off. They were banging down my door, make sure I'd done my homework, so to speak. And these ladies, their names was Nancy Banks and Lena George, and they were a tremendous help for me. You know, they helped me practice my lines. They helped me, you know, get in touch with the character. Who is he? What is he about? What is he feeling in this moment? And then, you know, the choreography for the fighting, that it was long and drawn out. But for me, I was more equipped at that than I would have been with practicing the lines and, you know, trying to get into the emotion of the character. But I tell you what, I had an amazing team, and they were very patient with me. And I showed up every day and gave it my all. And that's that.
Yeah, like a bro. And there would have been a huge amount of respect for you for that. And particularly coming from someone like Jake as well, who's a master of his own craft.
Jake is a consummate professional. It's a 75th movie. And he's also in good shape. He can throw a punch. He's done a great movie, Southpaw. You know, it's not like he's a novice in throwing his punches either. So we were able to, we had an amazing rapport on set. And a friend for life, Mr. Gyllenhaal is now. And I'm very, very grateful and a lucky Irish man to land on my feet in a position I did, you know, with Jake Gyllenhaal, with Doug Liman, who's a phenomenal director, done the Bourne Identity series, as well as a multitude of Tom Cruise movies. And then Joel Silver, who's the producers, like Mr. Action Hollywood is Joel Silver. All the 80s classics, you know, is Joel Silver. And then MGM Studios, Amazon Studios, I landed on my feet and I took the bull by the horn. It kind of took me back because I was like, what if I'm no good here? You know, or what if I'm not what they expect me to be? So I just rocked in the way I rock in. I rocked in with confidence. I had my chest tied, my shoulders out. And, you know, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you got to do the thing. The industry's been after me a little while, to be honest. Because, you know, I've had an amazing run in the fight game and entertainment and sports and entertainment. It's so closely aligned. People must have thought I was, you know, I was a good fit for the industry. But I always would say, look, I'm involved in the fight business. I'm not involved in the movie business. I've got contests ahead of me. And I would literally turn producers that would show up, or directors and producers that would show up at my training camps often throughout the years. And then, you know, with this one, the Roadhouse, you know, I had an injury in my last bout. The timing just worked out. What the movie was, who was in it. It was time to give it a shot. And that I did.
Well, you talk about, I mean, again, in flattering company, I've interviewed John Cena many times, very lucky and an absolute charmer.
Yeah, John's a good man. John's a good man. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
WWE and the UFC is stark in contrast.
But they rub along in the sense that those lads still keep one foot in the ring, if you like, and do the
For sure, yeah.
Hollywood is calling you, as you say, they've been knocking on your door for a while.
Yeah.
Is it something that you think would be a natural home?
Yeah, no, I had such an amazing time doing it. A lot of hard work, but I had an amazing time doing it. I'm very proud. It's banked now. You know, that is in movie folklore. And to be able to say that, and, you know, I won't say show my kids because I don't want to, you know, many, you know, when they're adults for sure. But, you know, I'm very proud of that. So I won't say never. But as of right now, I'm going to just absorb all this, you know, work that I have. You know, the movie's out, 10 days' time? Yeah. So there's still a fair bit of work we've got to do. We've got ahead of us. So, you know, there's also the St. Patrick's Day festivities. I've got the #1 Irish whiskey on the market, proper 12 Irish whiskey.
I was told to ask you about that.
Yeah,
very own Ben Shepherd.
Yeah, for sure. And I've got the #1 stout, the #1 Irish stout, forged Irish stout. So it's a rapid ascension. So we've got many events and parties and prizes and, you know, things for fans all across the globe going on around St. Patrick's festivities. So once I do all of this and handle all of this business, I'm going to digest going to settle back into my home with the kids and begin to plot my return to the octagon. I'm ready. My body's in shape. My injuries have healed, and I'm ready to book a fight. So that's what I'm eager to do. After that, maybe a year or so down the line, who knows what happens with maybe another movie. As the movie takes place and as people will see it, there potentially is an opportunity to do it again.
Everything you've mentioned there, mention the family. I know the kids, they're all under 10.
Yeah.
Conor Jr. is a right chip on
Yeah,
block.
yeah.
Was that sort of natural, or is he being owned by his father?
Oh, well, I certainly, I know that is natural for sure. I actually look at my son, and he's softened me, because I look, when you grow up and the world makes you hard, or you go through things in your life and it toughens you, and you're not your childlike self anymore. And we're all trying to recapture that in a way. And when my son was born, and I looked at my son, I saw myself as I am. I saw me untouched by, unaffected by anything. And it really softened me, and it really warmed my heart. And, I do train my children in the martial arts for sure. I keep them fit, I keep them healthy. My mother and father and family growing up, we didn't really know about nutrition like we do now, like I do now. So I whereas I wouldn't have been, eating correctly or up until I made that decision in my late teens to begin to get into real shape, I have them eating correctly. So, they're on a good path. And let's see, as long as my children are happy. He's a chip off the old block. He's got a good backhand like his father. Yeah. He can kick. He's flexible. He's got good dexterity. We do a stretching, as well. But let's see how it goes. As long as my children are happy, and and they feel love, I am happy.
Yeah, amen. And that is absolutely the way forward. That's really all they can learn at your knee, because if you're loved, you can do absolutely anything in your life.
100%. Ireland is my home. It's where my base is. I do have property all over the world. I'm blessed in that regard. And I'm blessed that I've got work all over the world. And, I will say regarding James and that decision to move the family for career reasons and whatnot, it's a humongous decision. But even right now, I've got my fiance here and my children here with me. And, home is where the heart is. Wherever you are together is where you are. So that's how I feel right now. I'm away from home, but my home is here with me, because my children are here, my lady's here. And everything's fine then. I feel great at the minute, to be honest.
What's like with you on the road then, when you take the family along with you? I mean,
it's better than when they're not here.
Yeah,
I'm lost. I'm a lost man. Yeah. I just want my family close. They're my team. That's my team. And I'm nervous because the world is dangerous at times. You see what's happening in the news all the time. The worry that if you're away from your family, I don't wish to be away from my family. I want to guide my children. Yeah. I do. I want to just make sure I'm good, so good enough so I can guide them up. And then after that, I'm, that's my job then. And if I'm away, it's not good for my head. So I have them here with me now, and life is sunshine and rainbows, man.
It's like when you go, I'm sure, you find yourself in a gorgeous sort of luxurious environment. If you're not with your other half, you're not with Dee, if you're not with the family, it's like a hollow victory in a way.
100%. You could be in a shack with your people. And, with the right outlook on life and the right mindset and the right people around you, that shack is, the best villa or the best home you've ever been in your life. So that's always been my mindset, on the climb. We came up with nothing. My lady's my long-time lady. We're set to get married soon. We're just trying to find the location. I'm ready to go. I just want to get the location right. Right. Is it at home? I'd wish to get it at home. We're deciding on location. So, hopefully we can get the marriage done, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
What would that wedding look like?
Humongous.
Really?
I mean, I go. This is the decisions we have. I go between. Do we want a extravagant? Well, it'll be extravagant. I will spare no cost for sure for my lady and my family, and but is it an open, invite everyone, or is it private? These are things we're trying to figure out, We are private people, but then we wouldn't like to do it and then, we should have done it a bit bigger maybe. So we're kind of in decision mode at the minute. But let's see, things are good. But that's my lady since all the way. Yeah. These, highs and lows. Before all of this,